Hi gentlemen, let's continue with chapter 13 on inheritance. So let's do a quick recap on what has been covered in the first two parts of this chapter. In 13.1, it was an introduction to the idea of genetic, where we have gone through the different terminologies such as dominant, recessive, heterozygous, homozygous, which by now you should be very familiar with to use it subsequently in 13.2, right? As we tackle how genetic it's being passed down from one generation to another generation, we use genetic diagram and Punnett square to showcase, all right, to showcase the probability of offspring getting a particular kind of characteristics based on the dominant and recessive allele in place. Now, let's move on to 13.3, 13.4, and 13.5. I'll be breaking this into three really short videos to cover these three big areas under the study of inheritance. Trust me, 13.3 is really one of the shortest sub-chapter in your entire syllabus. So let's begin. In 13.3, we will seek to understand, all right, how the sex is determined in humans. All right. I think it's pretty common sense and straightforward by now that we know of the sex chromosome involved in both female and male, and we will be using a genetic diagram to illustrate that as well. So very quickly over here you can see what we know as two different individuals karyotype. Let me spell that out for you on the screen. Right, so what you see over here are known as karyotype, which is a visual representation of all the chromosomes within a cell. Right, and you can see that it's being arranged in a certain manner. So by now you should be able to explain how 46 chromosomes are being arranged. Okay, and each of this pair is known as a pair of homologous chromosome. All right, and in each pair, one chromosome comes from the father and one chromosome comes from our mother. All right, so it's arranged by the same shape, size, and length, which I'll put it here. So this entire set of chromosomes are found in every single nucleus. In all living cells in us. All right, so using the karyotypes, you can see that what differentiates between these two individuals on the left and right is simply the pair of sex chromosomes that they have. So just a very quick recap. All right, apart from the one pair of sex chromosome that determines the sex of the person, the other 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as autosomal chromosome or autosomes in short, right, which carries all other genetic characteristics apart from a person's sex. So how do we use a genetic cross diagram to determine the expected ratio? All right, so very quickly, let me illustrate that. Right, so parents genotype over here. Okay, phenotype is the characteristic, right, male and female. Right, so the genotype would be the sex chromosome that can be found in each of this individual. So for the male, it would be XY, and for the female, it would be XX. All right, don't forget the cross to show the reproduction, all right, to illustrate that reproduction was involved in both of this individual. Okay, so the gametes. So each sperm either carries a X or a Y chromosome, all right, and each egg in the female each carry a X chromosome. All right, so due to random fertilization, there will be 4 different combinations that you can obtain. All right, first is XX, okay, which will give rise to a female, a daughter. All right, second one as well, another chance of getting a daughter over here. All right, and then the third combination, XY, which will give rise to a male, a son, and there is also another chance of having a son. Okay, so over here, right, what is the offspring phenotypic ratio? It is 1 female to 1 male and 1 okay, the genotypic ratio is missing, which you must include in your genetic cross diagram. Okay, so the offspring genotype is 1 female, right, double X, to 1 male. Right, so this is how we derive, okay, that there's a 50% chance of having a male and 50% chance of having a female. And that's it for 13.3. In the next video, I'll be covering 13.4 on variation.